We have another devotional today talking about things that are impossible for God. And as I say that, you may say, well, is there anything that's impossible for God? We see it to do. We see in the Bible, we see certain times where people wanted to have a child and they were very old a number of times, and they think, I can never have a baby. And or there's certain times where leaders are leading God's people and there's armies coming in about to attack them, and they say, oh no, we're going to get beat. And they say, just be still and let the Lord fight. And the Lord brings them out to victory. Seemingly impossible situation to overcome. And God comes in and saves his people. Many times we see in the Bible, God comes in and allows this older couple or a couple that haven't had a child to have a child. And we see in Genesis 18:14, Abraham and Sarah, they ask the same question. Is anything too hard for the Lord? I will return to you at the appointed time next year, and Sarah will have a son. And of course, we see those words come true in the Bible as they come forward. So as we think about things that are impossible, I want to give you a few exercises to do as we begin. First of all, see how many of you can kiss your elbow. Can you do that? I can get almost a crease on the inside, but I can't quite get all the way. Some of you little short people may be able to do that a little bit better. How about balance on your finger for 60 seconds? Your thumb, your finger, either one, get your whole body off the ground and just bouncing on one finger. See if you can do that one. That's quite the challenge. I think that's impossible pretty much. How about jump up and touch the sky? I can touch pretty close to the ceiling if I jumped really high, but there's no way I can reach up and touch the sky. Why don't you guys try to do that? Jump up and touch the sky. See how close you can get. See how close you can get to the ceiling. And the sky is way past the ceiling, so I don't think there's any way you can touch the sky. That's impossible. How about one more? How about scratching the back of your nose? Can you reach up and over and in, and you can't quite scratch the back of your nose? How about this one? This is one I'll show you the instructions in the comment section below, but how many of you think that I can walk through this piece of paper? And you say, well, that's seemingly impossible, and it is seemingly impossible. But let me use these scissors, and let me see if I can make this piece of paper so that I can step through it. I'm gonna go ahead and pause the video so that you don't have to watch me do all these cuts. All right, got a few more cuts to make here. I'll go ahead and turn it back on since I got the hard part done. Haven't cheated any. Just cutting this piece of paper along here. As I said, I'll show you the trick on how to do this down in the comment section. But remember, did you say it was impossible for me to step through this piece of paper? Let's see here in just a minute if I will be able, 6'3" tall, to step through this piece of paper. All right. Let me scoot that back there. You can see how long it goes. See how wide it is. There it is. I stepped through the piece of paper. Thought I couldn't do it, didn't you? I proved you wrong. Not impossible for me to step through that piece of paper. I'll end with one more verse. In Philippians 4:13, you may know this verse, but Paul said, I can do all things through him who gives me strength. Or I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. Different versions of the Bible say it different ways. But Paul had a lot of challenges in life. Maybe almost like stepping through that piece of paper. He had people that was fighting against him, people that were mad at him for preaching about Jesus, and people that beat him up, and people that just all kinds of things that they did to Paul. But Paul said, I can do all things through Christ or in Christ who gives me strength to do that. So I encourage you, when you have a challenging situation, a difficult situation, to rely on God, to turn to God and say, God, help me through this situation. To turn to Jesus and say, Jesus, help me through this situation. I can't get through it on my own. And Paul says what? I can do all things in Christ or through Christ who gives me strength. So I encourage you to continue to seek to look to Jesus, seek to follow Jesus, and he'll give you the strength to be able to do things that you thought were impossible, just like me stepping through that piece of paper. Hope you have a good day.